Extra minutes.
Kelly, you know Michael very well, but Michael, you've got no memory of Kelly.
Not at all, no.
How was this meeting her for the first time?
It's very surreal, yeah. Just someone who looked after me for a long period and never seen them before.
Yeah.
And actually that's really quite common, that people have very little recollection, especially if they've been in a medically induced coma, they've had a lot of sedative agents on board, that you might not remember us at all is it's not uncommon.
Yeah. Kelly, how is it for you seeing Michael walking around and standing right beside you?
Absolutely wonderful, and it makes my job and the job of the entire team here on intensive care completely worthwhile. It's phenomenal to see. We see you in the very early stages of your stay in hospital, and usually the most acute and the most difficult. And for us to see you on the other side of things, having come through rehab, having done so well, means everything.
Just how critical was Michael when he came here to the ICU?
At that stage you were still really unstable, so critical and unstable at that time. The thing that concerned us most in the first 24 and 48 hours after you first came back was that it was very difficult to control the pressures within your brain. Obviously the brain is a soft tissue inside a rigid box, and it's really important that we can control the pressures so that we don't have any additional injury on top of the injury you've suffered. And our difficult task was to control that as best we could. So,
when you first came out of the coma, what did you see?
I just remember I thought I was in a room, whereas it's actually just a curtained off area. I just remember just seeing the tubes and the TV up there. That was the first thing I saw, and just a lot of white walls and things. It was a lot of confusion, and just looking around, and I didn't even know I was in a hospital at first. It's very strange, yeah.
Kelly, you've dealt with one-punch violence before. Yeah. Is it tough to deal with?
Again, like, professionals, we're here to do our job, and our job is to manage you at your most acutely unwell. So it's difficult to manage in a kind of a medical perspective, it is, but emotionally it's challenging. There was times we didn't know whether you would survive, and we're using all the techniques that we have medically and surgically to try and give you the best possible outcome. But in the early stages, you don't know. You genuinely don't know.
That's what they said. The first 2 to 3 days was the hardest, obviously, because it wasn't like, he's really bad, but he's going to survive.
We couldn't even say.
They didn't know.
I must say, your parents would ask me that every time I would sit down with them and go through the results of your latest scan or your latest blood results, and I genuinely I couldn't tell them.
Yeah.
Should give her a hug. She deserves it.
I'll always take a hug from you, sir.
Thank you.
My pleasure. I hope you never need our services again.
Hopefully not, no.